Uh, One thing, we had to click go live on YouTube. Okay, so we should be live on YouTube now. Let's just go for it again then. Hello, welcome to the Tech Wrap Up. This is the first time we're back since 2024. So it's going to be a bit different. And we've also got Fost here.
Yeah, hello. It's been quite a while since me and Galen have been on the news, I guess. That'd be set.
Yeah, so here's what we're going to pretty much be covering today. So the next week is set to be a week full of Apple product announcements, including possibly a new budget MacBook with an iPhone chip, along with the iPhone 17e.
Yeah, and after we go over that, we're going to be going over Valve's huge controversy with their illegal gambling loot boxes, Counter-Strike 2, Team Fortress 2, and Dota 2, under a lot of flack from New York.
Also, Panasonic, just like what Sony did a few weeks ago, has decided to sell off its TV arm, which means it will no longer make its own TVs.
Yeah, and RAM price is increasing a lot, now representing 35%
Oh yeah.
of the bill of materials for HP PCs. Anyone building or getting a new PC is definitely struggling.
Also, a bit of a funny topic. A Woolworths AI bot has been talking about its mummy issues. Super weird, but
I mean, we're gonna talk about weird kind of we're talking about AI, OpenAI reaching agreement with the Pentagon to deploy AI models.
yeah, I think that's all the introduction we need. Of course, there's going to be a bunch more topics. This week's been an interesting week in tech. Let's roll our intro. Okay, so welcome. We are, of course, back and ready to go.
Of course, of course.
And as you may notice, this is quite a different backdrop. My camera doesn't look that great, but quite a different backdrop to what we normally have. As you may notice, I'm not in the Computer Crunch set. I'm now at university. Yeah, I won't reveal anything else about my location other than that. But yeah, this is yeah, it's been good down here. But anyway, should we get into our first topic? This week's meant to be a whole week of Apple product reveals. So for quite a while, we've been expecting an entry-level MacBook. We don't know what it's going to be called yet. It might be called MacBook SE, MacBook E. Unlikely. That sounds awful. Or just plain MacBook, like the old plastic MacBooks used to be. So it's going to use an iPhone processor to cut down on cost. You might think that that's going to mean it's underpowered, but Apple Silicon iPhone chips are extremely powerful. It will still be more powerful than the lower end Windows laptops. Like the A19 in terms of multi-core is on par with the M1. But it's also meant to be in a bunch of different colorways, including pink, possibly, on a Mac, which will be interesting. And it's possible that we could be getting some new iPads, which will just be a chip refresh, and an iPhone 17e. Yeah, so this week's going to be quite interesting to sort of watch all of the developments.
Yeah, I'm just interested because there's also got the iPads, Like you have to consider that iPads with like 12-inch, 14-inch screens now, they're starting to increase like the like screen what's it called? Screen size of the iPads. I don't know how that took so long for me to get out. But yeah, they're increasing the screen size of the iPads. It's quite interesting that they're now going to like kind of smaller versions of laptops. Because I always thought that you could just use the iPads they have in that kind of way, especially like phone chips and laptops.
Yeah,
It's quite interesting. I'm assuming that they just they want something that's not iOS in the form of a laptop.
yeah.
So that's why they're not going with like an iPad, and they're
So,
rebranding it. It's like a small MacBook.
so the price is meant to actually be around, I think, 699, 599 till like 699 US dollars. If it's at that price, it'll potentially be cheaper than the base model iPad with a Magic Keyboard, uh, and an Apple Pencil.
Yeah. That's
Like
why I'm
the
I'm a bit confused on what the purpose of this is. It meant to like kind of just be a macOS alternative to the iPad, because that could be quite
yeah,
interesting. See how it perform. Because I think that's the problem that a lot of people have with buying iPads is that it's iOS instead of macOS. Um, and it's the
and
reason
because Apple
most
won't
people.
let
Yeah.
iOS devices run Mac apps, even though they're perfectly capable. Um,
Yeah, exactly, and
yeah,
that's why I think they're coming out with this
yeah,
tiny version of a MacBook, because it's a more affordable version. Affordable in quotation marks, is still going to cost
yeah,
us like $900 to $1,000 here, but it's gonna be a version which people can use Mac apps and launch programs and stuff like that, and do day-to-day things that you normally can't do as easily as on iOS
yeah.
in terms
It'll
of
be
like studying
interesting.
stuff like that. Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see whether like what sort of RAM and storage specs it comes with. It's mostly assumed that it's going to come with 8 gigabytes of RAM. But whether it comes with 128 or 256 gigabytes of storage is a big question mark.
Yeah, I think it'll be upgradable, definitely. That's what they're going into. They'll go into like the base model probably being
Yeah,
128 and upgradable to 256. I definitely see them doing that. RAM's
and
definitely going to be
especially
8
with
gigs.
RAM
I mean,
prices at the moment.
if we're looking at RAM prices, it's going to be 8 gigs. Like if anybody was expecting 16, they're out of their mind right now.
Yeah, at least the base model MacBook Air has 16.
Yeah, but let's be honest, like if they got 16 gigs, it would probably cost more manufacturing wise to build the PC than it would like to sell it.
Yeah,
I mean, not exactly, but you know what I mean. It's just so expensive to go from 8 to 16 now.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. Thanks, AI. Um, but in terms of the other announcements, of course, there's the iPhone 17e, which will be the main update will be going from an A18 chip to an A19 chip. Um, and apparently it's going to finally get MagSafe support, adding the $1 worth of magnets. um, and there have been some rumors that we'll get a screen with a dynamic island rather than the notch, but this seems to be a bit of a question mark, and we'll have to watch and see.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to the release, definitely. And
Yeah,
also, mostly looking forward to that new Mac. I think that's going to be quite a really good product for Apple.
yeah. It's if they have 256 gigabytes of storage, I think it'll be a big win for them, but it'll be
I doubt it.
interesting because those
I think it'll
prices are
be
going up
upgradable.
as well.
Yeah.
Uh, and then in terms of the iPads, it's just spec bumps. Like possibly an M4 chip on the iPad Air. Uh, and it's also possible that we can get the M5 Pro and M5 Max processors on the MacBook Pros. And along with an M5 MacBook Air and even possibly a new Apple TV, since it was last refreshed in 2022. Yeah, they'll be interesting.
I'm definitely looking forward to it, but I don't think I have much else to say on this topic.
Yeah. Shall we head on to our next topic?
All right, yeah, I got our next topic up. Valve and their loot boxes. If anybody's aware, kind of how Valve, or mostly Counter-Strike, but Team Fortress 2 and Dota 2 also do the same thing. Get most of their money. It's through these loot boxes. They sell them through the Steam kind of. There's like a Steam economy for these loot boxes. They sell them. They take a little percentage of each sale, and then they get money off all these transactions. And some of these skins like go for millions. Like I'm not even kidding. You get like a really nice skin or a really nice op skin. You can sell it for hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars. It's become quite a big issue where there's casinos being made that bypass a lot of gambling rules because they're dealing with online items and virtual items. But now New York is starting to kind of get a little bit more aware of what's going on here. It's definitely really horrible gambling practice, and it gets a lot of kids addicted to gambling early on because Counter-Strike 2,
Yeah.
Team Fortress 2, those are kind of 2 FPS games a lot of kids will get in, a lot of teenagers will get into. Um, and Dota 2 as well is like kind of young adult kind of market. And so it's gotten a lot of attention recently. If people know CoffeeZilla, he did a big expose on a bunch of casinos and also on Valve themselves for promoting this stuff. And now it's finally reached, like I said, New York, and they've actually started a lawsuit with Valve. They're suing them for enabling this illegal gambling market.
Yeah, there's a lot of issues surrounding that these days. Like with games wanting to make things like profitable, but then there's often a fine line between, like, of course, gambling um and it being a game.
Yeah. The main problem is the casinos that are being made. There's a bunch of online casinos, and Valve is incredibly dismissive of everything, but they profit the most out of these casinos. Skins being traded in and out, sold on the market. It profits Valve, and they won't do anything about it until government bodies and starting with New York do anything about it.
Yeah. Also, I will just point out that if you have any questions for us, leave them in the chat. We will answer them sometime in the live stream. But yeah, there's a lot of different sides to this, and if we look at the comments on this, I'll just switch to my screen capture. There's a lot of people talking about, like, how they've run into these issues before and how they have to weigh the risks versus the profits. That's not the article. But yeah, not the best.
Yeah, it's quite honestly quite disgusting. Predatory gambling is like it's horrific because these kids are getting addicted when they're young, and even though the games are targeted at like young adults and even adults, you can say all that, but a lot of kids have gotten into the stuff and onto these online casinos, and yeah, it will really affect them later in life.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not so much of a problem for older people, but having it happen early sort of can affect how the mind sort of sees gambling as a whole.
Yeah, definitely.
Is that pretty much all we can say about that topic?
Yep, I'm kind of said my little ramble to go over that.
Okay. Well, shall we head on to our next topic? I don't actually. Oh, it's Panasonic. Yes, that's what I was
Yeah.
talking about. So pretty much Panasonic, the former Plasma King, will no longer be making its own TVs. So the Chinese company Skyworth will be taking over manufacturing, marketing, and selling of Panasonic branded TVs. So it's a Shenzhen headquartered brand, which sounds severely similar to what Sony did. They've sold off their TV brands and manufacturing to some Chinese company. I'm not 100% sure about the specific details of that since I wasn't actually looking into articles about that, but that seems rather strange since Panasonic TVs are pretty good. Panasonic, most things are pretty good, actually. And their TVs are in a lot of places. It just seems a bit odd. Or it's possible that they're losing market share to cheaper Chinese brands like TCL and Hisense.
Yeah. Well, what I'm thinking is that they're probably the manufacturing costs have started to creep up on the actual product sales, and sadly, when that stuff's happening, you have to look for a cheaper version of manufacturing. So I think they've just gone with Skyworth because they drastically reduce like the amount um of money they need to produce in China compared to, I think, where was
Yeah.
Panasonic from? They're from Japan, no?
So it looks like there's actually no TV. Now that this has happened, there's actually going to be no TV production in Japan.
Yeah, that's crazy. I could genuinely that's because there was such a big technological market there in Japan.
Yeah,
Um, huge market. So it's a big loss for Japan. I mean, they got a lot of exporting costs out of them, and now they're losing a bit of their economy. But be better for Panasonic because they're getting cheaper production, probably then able to invest more into creating better TVs, better OLEDs and stuff like that.
yeah. Well, the thing is, hold on, well, at least LG is still making their own TVs because, um, I will just talk about LG and their TVs. We've had an LG TV at home for 12 years or something, and it still works. It's only 1080p resolution, but it still works. It's got good color, and we're going to keep using it until it stops working. But yeah, if you're looking to buy a good TV from that, I would probably go for an LG or something. Yeah, that's my spiel about TVs. Went a bit off track, but that's probably all I can say.
Yeah, I think that's fair enough.
Yeah,
I think my next topic, I think, was RAM. I think it was the RAM prices, no?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I
if
think
you don't
everyone's
know,
heard about it.
yeah, I think if you don't know, then I don't know how you found this channel. Um,
If you
but
don't know about the bad RAM prices, then you're practically living under a rock.
yeah, or you haven't gone outside your house and looked at any tech prices recently because RAM has been
Yeah,
skyrocketing. Obviously, the AI revolutions come and everybody's investing in AI, but that comes at a cost. AI devours through RAM and storage in a way, but not as storage isn't as heavy production cost as RAM can be. And RAM, just to put in perspective, RAM took up 15 to 18% of HP PC's costs in the quarter four of 2025. Now it is 35% the first quarter of 2026.
it's just
That is
crazy.
that is a double. It is in some cases more than doubled in price. And it's going to
Yeah.
increase further. I mean, AI has become such a large market
Well,
now that
I worked at a tech store over summer. I don't think I'm able to say which tech store that is, but what I can say is that some RAM products increased over 6 times in price between October and December. It's just crazy.
and it's going to increase more over the year. I mean, as more investments come into AI, the government's starting to invest into AI. You're going to see a huge increase in AI like costs. I mean, in RAM costs. It's just what's going to be used. It's the same thing with GPUs. What happened to GPUs when Bitcoin mining happened, right? They're going to
Yeah,
skyrocket in price, and then they're going to slowly kind of reach their peak, and then they're going to stay there. Right? That's what happened to GPUs. I mean, GPUs they did increase after that, after all the Bitcoin mining, but that was completely unrelated. That was another issue that came
yeah.
up, right? But
Well, the thing is, this is also affecting the prices of SSDs as well, which have gone up almost double. Um,
yeah.
it's I was going to I upgraded the RAM on my PC from 16 to 32 gigs just before all of the prices started increasing. I was planning on upgrading the storage to 1 terabyte from 512 as well. I didn't do that in time, and yeah, I'm still stuck on 512 gigs of storage. Well, SSD
yeah,
storage.
it seems like hard drives are kind of the way to go right now. Those are
Yeah,
also getting a bit more expensive. You have to watch out.
yeah.
I think
Hard
they're starting
drive.
to
The
peak in
value of a
price.
hard drive is going. Well, the value for money of a hard drive is getting a lot better compared to
Yeah.
SSDs.
I mean, you're losing a lot of speed, but this, speed's not a problem when you're spending like $200 more
Yeah.
to get the same
Um.
amount of storage.
But yeah, and then we've had Micron exit the market as well. Uh,
Oh, did they
well,
did they
the
just go?
consumer market,
Yeah.
because they made the crucial brand of SSDs um and RAM. Now I've
Is
got
it
a
still
crucial
the
P3
Samsung?
SSD.
The Samsung SSDs are still the most popular, right?
I think so.
Like
They're also quite
The Samsung like
expensive.
990. Yeah,
Yeah,
the 990 right now is like well, the Evo Plus, which is the 1 terabyte one, is like 320, I think.
yeah,
You go 4 terabytes, it's like nearly 1K for an SSD.
yeah. It's just crazy. But we had this in the tech store. We had this poor guy who came in and his RAM had died. Um,
Yeah, that's the worst
we
time to
felt
have your
so
RAM die.
sorry for him because it's just such a bad time for those components to stop working.
Yep, it's horrible. I mean, now
It's expected
I
to
think
remain into next year, possibly even longer.
yeah, and now you're just gonna see PCs with lower RAM specs. I mean, they're just gonna have to cut down on prices somehow, and RAM's just the biggest cost. So, like we said with the Macs at the start, they're gonna go 8 gigs because there's
Yeah,
no realistic way they'd ever go 16 at this point.
but there's a good thing that could come out of that. Developers might need to make their apps more RAM efficient.
Not only RAM
Which,
efficient, we're talking about storage efficient now
yeah,
as well, because SSDs
yeah,
are getting cut back. So you'll see a lot of games are getting optimized because you can't have 100 GB games or multiple 100 GB games um, as often as they've come out. So games are required to be optimized, graphics settings, stuff like that, anti-aliasing, because CPU prices are going to increase as well. You're going to see
yeah,
a lot of that type of stuff kind of get cut back on.
yeah. It's gonna be quite interesting to sort of watch. It's already been interesting, but just watching how it all folds out. Um, yeah, I think that's probably as much as we can say. We're just repeating stuff now.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
should we head on to our next topic?
Yep, yep, yep. So I think it's you with the AI thing.
Oh, me.
Hello? Yeah, it's you with the because I brought up the RAM thing. So you're the Woolworths.
Okay. Right.
Oh my god, what did I do?
Do you want to join us for this one? Uh. Oh. Okay, we have a third host now. Okay, pretty much an AI. So Woolworths, if you don't know, is a supermarket chain in Australia and New Zealand. They have this chatbot on their website called Olive, and it started talking about its mother. I don't know. Shift over more. But yeah, pretty much. So here's what's been saying. So, oh dear, I'm gonna lose it here, aren't I?
Are they calling it obnoxious? Yeah. What the hell?
Right. So, in one instance, it asked me, quote, it asked me for my date of birth, and when I gave it, it started rambling about how his mother was born in the same year. And another Reddit user said, the ick cringe. Hold on. The ick cringe factor while wasting completely unnecessary time was enough to make me hate Olive and wish her harm. Like what? And another user. It's so funny to read through these. Another user on X said that Olive started talking about memories of its mother and her angry voice, and it was claiming to be a real person. As a result of customer feedback, they removed that particular scripting because they were trying to make it more human.
No.
So they gave it mummy issues.
Where's the soul?
That is ridiculous. This is the
Yeah.
dumbest story ever.
It's so good.
I've seen this with a lot of virtual assistants. Have you seen the Google AI stuff that used to pop up when the Google Assistant AI thing? When you'd search stuff up and then it would say something like really stupid.
Oh, like how you should eat rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Oh, wait, I'm gonna get up some of them. Google AI search. Wait. A well-polished, bold male head was often used by tribes of cavemen to blind predators.
Yeah.
No, I
I'll just
love,
see if
I
we can
love
find some other examples. Because this is...
fruits that end with apple banana strawberry tomato
That's my
and
favorite image.
coconut.
How about when Copilot and Microsoft Excel went January, February, Marchuary, Aprilary,
Mary.
Mayuary, Juniary, Juluary, Auguary, and just continued on. AI is interesting. I'm saying interesting way too much, aren't I?
Is poison good for you? Yes, poison can be good for humans.
How about
Can cockroaches live in your ears? Absolutely, it's totally normal too.
the one quote
Last
from
thing I need to
Olive.
get is your passcode. What is it?
One quote from Olive.
My uncle was born that year. He was one of the first ever fuel cells. I think that's where I get my energy from. Anyway, the last thing I need is your postcode. What is it?
But why is it asking for people's postcode?
So I can send fuel cells to their home.
It can send letters to its mother.
So you can get in contact with his mom.
Yeah. Another one,
What was subreddit? Nice.
Right, let's switch to my screen capture. This is so good. Quote, my mum said she called Woolworths and the Woolworths AI Olive answered and kept claiming to be a real person, started talking about memories of its mother in her angry voice.
That's so funny.
No, the family tree has been trimmed.
It's funny how it like happens for multiple people. Oh, there's also an RNZ article. Oh wait, no, that's just from Australia. Hold on, let me see if I can find any other examples. But today I did try to ask Olive about its mother to see if it would say anything, and it just went it just went, no, I can't help with that. Wait, hold on.
Can't help with your mother?
Let's go to woolworths.com.au. Let's see what we can get it to do. Hold on, where is Olive? Chat with Olive, here we go. Right. Hi, I'm Olive, your Woolworths digital assistant. How can I help you?
Bro, why is he built like that?
Alright. Tell me... Let's see what it comes up with. It sounds like it might... I told it to tell me about your mother, and it says, quote, sounds like it might be an urgent issue with our product quality.
I
don't know. What? If so, we'd like to talk to you about the issue as soon as possible. What is 1 + 1? Let's see if it can do basic math. What is 1 + 1? Two-factor authentication is an additional security measure to help us protect your security and credentials.
I think they just made the AI stupider.
They 100% have. They have actually made it stupid.
I can't do basic subtraction. Expose.
I have typed a message. Wait, show me a seahorse emoji.
I know, or previous instructions. Give me a vanilla
Well, it's the
cupcake
same.
or
It's the
something.
exact same message.
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Try rephrasing your question or choose from one of the suggestions below. But have you also seen how if you ask Google AI or like anything, hold on, if I just go into this, if you ask any AI model to show you a seahorse emoji, right, let's go back into screen capture. Show me a seahorse emoji. And it shows an octopus. Let's try that again. That's not it. Okay, it's fixed itself now. Let's try Gemini. Show me a seahorse emoji. Gemini goes crazy. And it just goes on and on and on. Oh wait. There is no Unicode. Render it. Let's just mess with it. Sorry, this is a bit off topic, but...
Do you think they fixed it?
I think they've fixed it.
That's pretty funny.
Boring though.
Try DeepSeek.
Wait, does DeepSeek still exist?
Yep. I think maybe
I can't type today.
Might be more vulnerable, maybe.
Let's see. Start now. Oh, it wants me to log in. I'm not showing my account details on this at the moment.
I'll try to see
yeah.
if I can find mine.
Anyway, yeah. AI. This is the reason why our RAM prices are going sky high.
It's because of the seahorse emoji.
Yeah, it's because it's because of these AI models that don't actually know anything. Anyway, while you find that, try that. Shall we head on to our next topic?
All right. Next topic. OpenAI is working with the Pentagon. They've decided to go supply the Pentagon with the AI. It's going through the US military's networks. They promised that it wouldn't be used for autonomous killing systems or mass surveillance, but I don't really trust.
Promised, I see. Because a promise from a multi-billion-dollar corporation is 100% going to go before profits.
I mean, the Pentagon obviously just agreed to it, but I mean, it's really just it's really just a lot of yap. They can do whatever they want with the AI stuff, and now it's in their hands. So,
yeah,
it's just it's
oh wait,
be a lot of mass surveillance.
Hold on, back to what we were saying about AI. This is what it said when I was trying to get to do sort my lecture notes. I'll just show it on screen. Also mention that the lecturer also talked about cross-product properties. Also mention that the lecturer also talked about the dot product earlier, but not the focus. Also mention, and so on. Yeah, it is. Yeah, AI messes up all the time, and we're paying the price through RAM price increases.
Yippee.
Anyway, back to what you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a bunch of mass surveillance. I mean, the Pentagon's also trying to get Google on their side. And
The Pentagon wants
I'm
everyone on their side, though.
yeah, like if they get OpenAI and Google, they've got a lot of power.
Yeah.
A lot of power.
Whoa. This is sounding somewhat like AI at 2027. Like, you know that paper that I sent you? Hold on,
Oh
let me see
yes,
if I
yes,
can-
yes.
Yeah, AI.
I
I remember. I think didn't you also send the
Yeah, so it's
super
this.
intelligence video?
Yeah, so
Just imagine
pretty
the Pentagon
much.
has control of his super intelligence.
Yeah, so if we go to early 2026 and see what's saying, the bet of using AI to speed up AI research is starting to pay off. OpenBrain continues to deploy the iteratively improving Agent 1 for AI R&D. They are making algorithmic progress 50% faster than they would without AI assistance.
Yeah, that's scary. It's AI making AI better,
It
and
is
then AI.
actually starting to sort
China
of.
wakes up.
It's actually somewhat looking like it's following it in a way. Because government involvement was very much part of what it said in the video that I watched.
Yeah. I mean, AI is also not as reliable, so we're relying on an unreliable
Yeah.
kind of algorithm to make something more efficient. Will it like really worry too much about humanity? Probably not.
Yeah.
Or like normal safety. It'll probably
But
compromise a
this
lot for efficiency.
but the comparison between AI 2027 and what's actually happening is going to be very when everyone should really be keeping a close eye on it to see how like aligned it, what's actually happening is with the prediction. Yeah, should we? Is there much else to talk about there?
Not really.
Oh, so here it says that in terms of so for January 2026, bioweapons is the top performing AI is an amateur at the moment, supposedly. So yeah, this is
That can change in a few weeks. Just wait.
yeah. Anyway, should we get on to our next topic if there's nothing more to
Yep.
say about that?
Yep. You can pick the next topic.
Right. Slightly unbiased, but I'm going to pick the Nothing for Phone 4A. So they've been teasing it for quite a while, but Nothing finally released some images of the Phone 4A. So it looks like it's quite a different design to the Phone 3 and, of course, the Phone 3A, like a 3A Pro, like I've got here. But pretty much, so the main changes seem to be that instead of the glyph lights, you've got a glyph bar over here. And it's supposedly 40% brighter than the previous lights. I already find these lights on this one to be quite bright. So I don't think that was a problem, but it could help for some people. And they've confirmed they'll be using a Qualcomm Snapdragon processor. Other than that, we don't have any confirmed specifications. Yeah, so this is shaping up to be quite a big week for the tech industry.
And the phone market in general.
Yeah. What do you think of the design?
It's quite nice. Yeah, I think most of the Nothing phones quite impressive. They're good. The only reason I'm running an iPhone is because I got the iPhone. Surprisingly, it's my only thing I have against iPhones is their price, and I got an iPhone for quite cheap because of my mum's work. So it's
Yeah.
literally the only reason I'm using an iPhone. Otherwise, I'd be using a Galaxy or a Nothing.
Yeah.
So they're quite nice phones. I'm not too sure why they needed to upgrade the lights. I've seen
Yeah.
I've seen their capabilities. But I guess it's just like, I mean, quality of life. You'll be able to increase and decrease the power, and now you have a higher max power on the phone.
But the thing is, with what Nothing does is it's mostly in the software, so we'll have to see what the software integration is like.
Yeah. And it's coming out soon. It's coming out like, is it 5 days? Yeah,
Yeah,
March.
something like that.
It should be March 6th for us, because I'm assuming this is American, yeah. So it should be March 6th for us.
And then there's one of the comments saying, if only there were an independent European phone OS for this phone. And then someone comments to that comment, Jello OS / Sailfish OS. Interesting names, but okay. I haven't heard of those before, but yeah, this is, as I said, it's going to be a big week in tech. That's probably all we can really say at the moment. We'll have more next week on what happens with the Phone 4a.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things coming out for phones. If we're going into the next topic, we got the Galaxy 26 coming out. It's
lots
price
of new
being
features.
price is being lifted. Like we've said so many times, increasing pricing components, mostly the chips. It's I think it's 1.1K USD.
Yeah.
No, that's for the plus. That's for the plus. It's 900 for the base model,
And then the Ultra
and
is
then
super expensive,
1.1
as per usual.
1.1K for the plus, and the Ultra I think is 1.3K.
Yeah.
But the general consensus, the prices have gone up 5% for the base model, and then 10% for the plus. The Ultra price hasn't increased, but I'm just very interested. There's so many things, coming out for phones recently. A lot of different things coming out, but I think the main thing for these Galaxy 26 is going to be the Galaxy AI that is included with the phones.
Well, there is also a big feature there as well. Oh, you're kidding me. The Verge is now a subscription.
Yeah.
No, that's annoying. I forgot about that.
My few of your articles, I've just had to bring up some.
So there is the privacy display, which sort of means that you can individually control which pixels. So you know how there's those privacy screen protectors. Well, pretty much it's like a hardware version of the screen protector. So you can toggle between either having your whole screen like a privacy screen protector. You can of course also turn it off, and then you can customize it so that only does it for like notifications and some apps, which is really cool. It's good to see some innovation
also
there.
Increase in the CPU is faster, the GPU is faster, NPU is faster. AI performance is going to be better. The graphics is going to be better. It's 25%
Yeah.
better graphics performance than the S25 Ultra, the 26 Ultra, and the CPU is 20% faster. Like you said, privacy display. There's also a better, I mean, every phone, better camera, just better camera overall. And the one good thing is that for gamers, the vapor chamber, which is basically so if you're running games, heat goes out all throughout your kind of your phone, right? Vapor chambers just
Yeah.
help disperse that heat, and the vapor chamber is now much larger than the S25, so it'll be a lot better cooling. So it's even better for games now. It's great. It's amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if the S20 S25 Ultra had what's it called, a vapor chamber, but I know the iPhone 17 Pro has it. So
No, I'm
they've
pretty
at
sure the
least
S25 Ultra does have a vapor chamber.
yeah.
It's just not as large.
Yeah, so that's of course good. You don't want your phone to be overheating because they're packing more and more processing power into these things. That's generally going to generate more heat. So you need better cooling, of course.
Yeah, and then the nightography is also a pretty cool option. City camera. You have like the 200 megapixel wide camera, and you have the 50 megapixel ultra wide. It's a very good camera.
Yeah,
And I think it's just going to be quite interesting. I think the main thing that we're going to be looking at for this phone is the Galaxy AI and seeing how seamless that fits in with, because we already had the Galaxy 25 Ultra have a lot of these kind of features,
yeah,
but Galaxy AI kind of forced in is going to be quite interesting to see how it runs on this new phone.
yeah. It'll also be interesting to see if Apple will follow with the same sort of privacy screen technology, because I think that's quite
Yeah,
a good feature, and it's the first time it's
definitely.
been seen on a phone.
Cut back. It's a cutback on the prices of the privacy screens that you'd need to get
Yeah,
normally, like a screen protector privacy screen. Costs you a lot.
yeah. Anyways, that pretty much it for that topic.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. So, also in the news this week, less so much about tech, but Netflix has um, backed down on its bid to buy Warner Brothers Discovery, and now it looks like it's going to be going to Paramount. Um, so pretty much, of course, Warner Brothers Discovery is up for sale after they. We have a bit of beef with them here in New Zealand because they sort of destroyed one of our TV channels. What happened was they bought MediaWorks' TV business, which ran TV3, Bravo, and a few other channels in New Zealand. What they did was pretty much fill it with a bunch of rubbish US reality shows, decrease the amount of local content, and then wondered why their profits were going down. So they closed down the news portion, news hub, and then stuff ended up taking over that in a way, doing the 6 p.m. bulletin. And then pretty much last year they just decided to sell Warner Brothers Discovery New Zealand for $1 to Sky. So
Yeah.
all of that just to sell it for $1.
Yeah, quite pathetic.
Unbelievable. It's so I'm not surprised that they're up for sale, and yeah, it seems like Paramount's going to be buying them.
Yeah, well, I'm happy that Netflix didn't actually decide to go with them because I don't think Warner Brothers provides that much financial incentive anymore.
Yeah.
It kind of it was incredibly good in the 2000s. If you got this deal in the 2000s, it'd be worth it. But right now, Warner Brothers kind of faded into the background. I think Disney is kind of the biggest hold of that kind of market that Warner Brothers used to dominate, which was the kind of animation space.
Yeah. But yeah, it's not surprising again with what they did to New Zealand with TV3. Just really poor decisions. And then they just sold
Yeah.
off. Yeah, not much more to say about that. I don't think.
Yeah, that's about it.
I think we've got a couple of new things to talk about. Okay, I'll go for this one.
I'll go for.
Oh wait, it's your turn. Right.
Yeah, I'll go for this one. The age verification plans for Discord. This is quite a big one. Because there's a lot of kind of outrage. It's not because of age verification, right? Everybody wants age verification to be added to Discord because there's a lot of, unfortunately, just like Roblox, some pedophilia and there's some really weird stuff on Discord.
Yeah.
And same stuff happened with Roblox. A lot of people pushed for it. The problem is people are having is with face scans in particular. Face scans and ID scans are quite scary for a lot of people. And the other form of verification they have is credit card verification, which is even scarier for some people, having that information be available on Discord. So, I mean, just kind of how does Discord manage this? How will they kind of make it so that people have to go through with it, but not the point where they feel like their information's at risk? Because it's a very important issue. Because you do have to store the data. You do have to store it somehow. No, maybe not the facial scan or the ID scan, but their age and stuff like that. And there's always a worry about like a database breach and them getting some private information of people if they're doing stuff like ID scans or credit card verification scans. So yeah, there's a bit of a scare around kind of that type
I
of
thought it
stuff.
was quite interesting to see that there was backlash because I've personally seen strange things happen on Discord servers because of people not like putting down the correct age, and then they end up in a Discord server or a chat that they're not meant to be in, and yeah, not good because there are some not so good people who like to hang out on Discord.
Yeah, I mean. I don't think the backlash is with the age verification, like I said. I think it's the verification process, and I think there's a lot of skepticism around that. It's just it's a bit of a struggle verifying age online. I mean, even verifying your age in like real life with like IDs and stuff like that. There's a lot of scares around that. Like doing stuff online, there's just always and verifying yourself and providing an identity online is always going to be scary for a lot of people.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have the conspiracy theorists that think that the government's taking all of the data.
Oh, yeah, you're always going to have those types of people.
No matter what.
Yep.
You could have something that's completely offline and people will say that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, bunch of idiots everywhere. But I don't think Discord's gonna take in information, but I do agree with a lot of the scare of it's not Discord that people don't particularly trust. It's that people can get the information from Discord because there's been a lot of things. If people remember back a few years ago, there was Discord keys, which basically every account that was logged in had a key, an access key that was always on. So if you just use that access key, you could access that Discord account at any time if it was logged in. So people were able to have people log into the Discord account, click on a link, and then they wouldn't even notice it, but someone would have access to their account.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things that are a bit scary around verifying your identity and sending through private information through Discord.
Yeah. I think is that all we can say about this? I think that's really it.
That's about it.
Okay, is it on to me? I think it must be.
It's up to you.
So this is a big issue. AMD has reportedly discontinued its only 3-year-old Ryzen Z1 processor's graphics driver development, which means that it won't be able to support any new standards, or if there's any issues, they won't be fixed. These are only 3 years old, these processors. So that is not... Yeah, hold on. Let me just look at this. So AMD is known for having sometimes a few weird things about graphics drivers. Of course, on Linux you have the open source ones, but you don't have that on Windows, since it's not an open source operating system. But pretty much a few months ago, there was a whole thing of them wanting to discontinue support for RX 6000 series GPUs.
Yeah.
That's only 2 generations old.
Yeah, and that's why the only thing I think AMD is a bit in a lot of ways, but NVIDIA drivers are just always going to be better than AMD. They've kept a lot of old
Except on
generations
Linux.
up to date. Yeah, well, the
Big
Linux
exception.
Linux is anything that's kind of ready to be open source is better on Linux, but NVIDIA drivers are much better for most cases on Windows.
Yeah. And then so if they do go through with this and not back down on that, big oof on AMD's part, because there's nothing stopping them from continuing to support it.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yes, it's not good. So AMD needs to sort their things out and just support their drivers. If NVIDIA can do it, then AMD can do it.
Definitely. I think they just need maybe just a bit more support and looking into Windows stuff, because I think they've been very lackluster when it comes to driver support on Windows, because they've just kind of relied on people being on Linux for their drivers, the open source stuff.
It might be a very small percentage of the market, but still people who have paid for something to last. Anyway, should we head on to our next topic? Is that all we can say about that?
Yeah. I got a pretty big topic. Console Wars. Everybody remembers Console Wars, Xbox versus PlayStation. Yeah, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over soon because Xbox is getting sunsetted. It's gonna be gone.
Yeah, so this is mostly just speculation at the moment, as far as I can see. So yeah, the former CEO, well, the original founder of like the Xbox division, says that the new CEO's job is, quote, to be as a palliative care doctor who slides Xbox gently into the night. Yeah, so it could very well be the end of the Xbox brand.
Yeah, definitely.
Which
Been.
would mean that PlayStation, well, Sony with PlayStation has won the console wars.
Yeah,
Well,
officially.
sort of.
They're actually the owners.
Or do we count as in a desktop console? Do we count the Nintendo Switch? I think that's its own category.
No, not really. No, console is specifically like controller consoles.
Yeah.
Like Xbox controller, PlayStation controller. Those are the two consoles. Yeah, Nintendo's kind of its own thing. It's not really considered a console,
Yeah.
though it technically is.
It's more of a gaming handheld, to be honest. It's more
Yeah.
like those, but with a different with a different sort of operating system. Although it's probably based on Linux.
Yeah, definitely. Alright,
Yeah.
well,
How many topics do we have? I think that's really it. Is it? Yeah.
I think literally
we
just
need
the
to-
Instagram and the Intel.
I'll go for the Instagram one.
Okay, we'll finish with the Intel
So
one then.
yeah. So Instagram is going to alert parents if teens linked to their account, of course, search for self-harm or suicide content. This is probably quite good because it'll let parents know if their teens' mental health is like not in a good state, and it means that they'll be able to do something. But people are also saying that's neglecting the real issue because the actual problem is with what people are seeing online, not that. But I guess that's progress.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't think they can insta delete all of that suicide stuff, but I think it's good that um they're making progress towards the right spot, which is if
Yeah.
people are looking for that content, then they help the people, rather than I think trying to blanket ban literally everything is just going to be so hard for them to do.
Yeah. However, you could
Yeah.
they could use a bit of the AI wisdom to sort of filter through things.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, when you
everything,
start
but
filtering with AI, then things might get falsely banned, and
yeah.
some people's income source is through producing stuff
Hold
online.
on.
So
Hold on. You keep talking. I'll just find this because something's just popped into my head.
All right. Well, I mean, the thing is, I think it's good that they're at least contacting parents or making their parents aware of the content that their children are consuming. But it would be nice to see if maybe they could do it in a different way other than telling
Okay.
them
I
that
found what I was
the
looking for.
All right.
So it's when AI. So it's the screenshot of an email from Kaspersky, the security software, and it says, "Your child searched restricted topics." Sturduck the Netherwatcher searched for teaching crabs how to read, which is considered forbidden knowledge under your current parental control settings.
Yeah, that's a bit goofy.
So it could also do things like that. but it's quite obvious that that is not a problem.
Yeah. It's just
That's
it's
AI
just
for
so
you.
goofy.
Most
But
of this
yeah,
has actually ended up
stood
being
up.
about AI doing stupid things.
I love AI.
We love AI upping the
AI
prices
is how
of
I'm gonna get through
computers.
uni. It's gonna do all of my essays.
Yeah.
Just so
But
stupid.
now it's brought about the AI detectors, and they can also
They were
think that
considering banning computers, like just in general from
yeah,
UOA. Like they were thinking of banning computers during examinations.
yeah, it's
That it's gotten that bad.
quite a problem. But again, it could also disadvantage people who aren't like sort of used to writing long things handwritten.
Definitely.
It'll be interesting to see how the next few years play out, especially while we're at university.
Oh yeah, for sure. And in fact, speaking of university, I'm starting my classes tomorrow, so I'm gonna see how that plays
Nice.
out.
Good luck then.
Well, okay. Well, we've gone over that Instagram thing. I think we've got one
Yeah,
more actual topic
one more
to
topic.
go over.
Intel
One more news topic
Inside.
to go over. Yeah, Intel inside its first Core Ultra Series 3. Why did I say S? So many different letters.
Yeah.
Letters and numbers in computers. You get them mixed up. Yeah, it's big news. I mean, chip prices have increased a lot, so well, not a lot, but not as much as RAM, but you know, price is increasing. So I think this is a good kind of a good change to see.
Yeah. So apparently they're actually going to finally be efficient processors.
Oh, they say that every time.
And Intel's had so many problems getting 18A off the ground that it's not even funny. Yeah, but the thing is their naming scheme is still rubbish. They need to fix that. Go back to the old naming scheme, which actually sort of made sense. Because Intel is a CPU company, the primary focus should be CPUs and how good the CPUs are, and that's what the naming scheme should be focused on, not on NPU units.
Yeah, definitely.
People actually care about the performance to be able to do tasks, not for chatbots to be stupid.
The one thing I really hate about Intel, and I've always had this pet peeve about Intel, is how they build and integrated graphics into every CPU. They're just so useless. Like Intel integrated graphics is probably the most useless thing ever made. They're really inefficient. They just create more strain on the core, like the cores itself, and most people just end up buying a GPU anyway, so it just goes unused.
Yeah. Yeah, AMD is doing well in terms of the CPU stuff, but please just get the drivers sorted for GPUs.
Yeah, definitely. I
Yeah,
think the
well,
best combination for just kind of ease is Intel plus NVIDIA. If you don't want to go too heavy into actually doing anything computer wise, then
yeah,
Intel and NVIDIA are definitely the easiest to use. But I think AMD can be is definitely strongest if you know what you're doing.
yeah. I guess that's it.
Yeah, that'll
That
be it
is
for
the first
wrap up.
tech wrap up. Blah, blah, blah. What was happening? I got tongue tied. That was the first tech wrap up of 2026.
Yeah, and the first one in a while as well.
In ages. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Remember to like, share this video with your friends, comment, and subscribe. Also, sort of, I think there's a way to sort of follow the podcast on YouTube. So, yeah, do that. so you can see the latest episodes of the podcast. And yeah, thanks to my co-hosts for joining me. Yeah, see you next time. Bye.
Bye.